And we welcome you back here to Able Stadium here on Homecoming and Hall of Fame Day. For Nebraska Wesleyan, we begin the second half here as the Prairie Wolves lead Briar Cliff 7-0. And Wesleyan will return here to begin the second half. Alex Bujado, as you see there on your screen, getting ready to kick away here for Briar Cliff. And here we go.
Are you serious?
End over end kick. He picked up at the 10, but dropped by Brooks Earhart, who recovers it and takes it up to the 20, all the way to the 35. Flag thrown, and he is tackled around the 40-yard line. Penalty flags come out, and we got an injured Briar Cliff Charger on the sideline right here down to our left.
Well, and this one's probably going back a little ways. As I believe that was...
It might have been a holding penalty or a push in the back against Wesleyan.
All of the above, I think, Jeff.
It is.
It was right in front of us. I think it was Tate Paulson, freshman playing special teams. You'll take a look at those first half stats. One, the support and obviously the score, but Nebraska Wesleyan with 41 yards just on the ground game. They tried to get it going, 22 tries.
Holding. Return team. Number 47.
It is indeed a hold.
10 yards. First down.
And one of the stats, as we were taking a look there, the rushing yards for Briar Cliff, 60 in that first half, and a lot of those came on the opening drive. So about 40 yards in that opening drive, and then Nebraska Wesleyan kind of buttoned it up. But again, Francis has been efficient through the air, 152 yards. Is up under his own power, and walking off for Briar Cliff is Jones.
Jabril Jones out of Villa Park, Illinois. He'll come out. Now Tyler Francis back out there. Again, you mentioned the passing game, Lucas, has been very effective for Tyler Francis. The rushing, not been really a big factor.
Yeah, and Francis has been very accurate today. 13 of 18 so far, 112 yards.
And he's still looking for his first touchdown pass of the season. So 1st and 10 here for the Prairie Wolves at their own 24. Here's Francis. Quick route. Pass goes incomplete. Ball dropped and recovered by Nick Lovell. The reception actually made by Connor Zuff. As we take a look at this again on the replay, watch Francis. There's the toss.
Pretty good strong hands to even make the catch here. And then it pops free, and Lovell in the right place at the right time. That's even close to being an incomplete pass. It's Connor Zuff, who was on the Prairie Wolves basketball team last year, came out and making an immediate impact here. The wide receiver spot, had 2 catches last week.
Here's a quick pass from Francis on 2nd down, finds another target, Corey Jones, up to the 38-yard line, and a Prairie Wolf first down.
A great look that time. So Francis saw Jones over on the left, really zipped it in there, gave him a little room to work after the catch, moves the sticks first down, and Francis, like I say, very accurate today. 15 of 20 thrown around. You complete over 60% of your passes on the afternoon, you're doing something right.
Larson split to the far side. They'll move the tight end Clausen on the left. Here's a toss. It's Bryant. And Bryant is stopped right at the point of attack. About a 1-yard gain, if that, on the play.
And not a lot going on that time. Good job up front by Briar Cliff.
And now Bryant finally gets up. Looked like he might have been hurt, but not the case. They were just trying to get the pile uncovered.
Which is great, because in the past 2 to 3 years, we've seen it so much, Jeff, that Nebraska Wesleyan has had a hard time keeping their running backs healthy.
And Bryant being one of them, because he battled through injuries early in his career.
And it seems like every year they've gone through that. And so far this year, knock on wood, Bryant's been able to stay healthy along with Lovell.
Play action. Here's Francis. Zuff with the catch at the 36, and he is tripped up, and they're going to mark him down at the 34-yard line. Nice look from Tyler Francis to Zuff on that attack. Take a look at this again.
All day long, and Zuff was wide open. Just a little post route there. Francis had plenty of time to survey his options and Connor Zump.
Now you think about the quarterbacks that we've seen Wesleyan have the last several years. A lot of them have been very ground-oriented, may throw in a pinch, may throw every now and then, but Tyler Francis has been more of a throwing quarterback for this Wesleyan football team as he hands it off to Nick Lovell, the fullback, from the 34 down to the 30. He gets a 4-yard pickup on the play, second down coming up.
Yeah. You go back to Zump through the air, as I said, last year was on the Nebraska Wesleyan Prairie Wolves basketball team, but last week was his first week back. He had a foot injury that kept him out in the opener. He had 2 catches, a 32-yard catch against Morningside, and then now with the big play here to get the Prairie Wolves down deep in Briar Cliff territory.
Justin Murr, the split on the left side on second down. It's a toss to Bryant, and Bryant punches it across the 30. In fact, no gain on the play. Third down coming up.
Alex Herndon, 6'1", 260 senior, made the play, plugged the hole up there. It's been tough sledding here this drive so far for Bryant in the ground game. Big third down here. Nebraska Wesleyan obviously has had issues getting into the end zone this year. Just 2 offensive touchdowns, including the earlier one, the 7-yard run by Bryant. They'd like to keep the drive alive here.
He'll spread it out. Francis to the near side looking for Zump up in the air. Zump makes the catch, but it's going to be out of bounds, incomplete. And this will bring up fourth down.
Did haul it in, just forced out of bounds. The York, Nebraska native.
Well, now you're kind of in a neutral zone, Lucas. You're too close to punt. Essentially, you're too close to punt. You could try to go for a long field goal, or you go for it.
Yeah, you'd be looking at about a 52-yarder. No, a 42-yarder, excuse me.
Now they'll go for it. Murr, the split to the left side. Zump on the right. 2-back set here for Francis as he works out of the gun. Looking to throw over the middle. Goes up, and it's knocked away and intercepted. It is picked by Stephen Trujillo.
That was the best thing that could have happened for Nebraska Wesleyan, minus picking up the first down, because here you see Francis, he goes deep. And Trujillo just should have batted that down. They have first down back out at the 30. Instead, that's better than a punt inside right down at the 5-yard line.
Well, there was double coverage on Murr downfield and Trujillo.
I mean, it's always good to get the INT, but you got to know your situation. And right there, it should have been batting everything down. As once it was made clear that Nebraska Wesleyan wasn't catching it, you don't want to catch it either unless you have a good shot at a return.
Dutko hands it off to Hikus, who we have not mentioned a lot since the first quarter. Mitch Hikus, the sophomore tailback out of Laurel.
They really had him cooking that first drive. And
in fact, there were a couple of times that Wesleyan had difficulty stopping him. He had so much power. 2nd and 5. Hikus gets it. And Seth Wardeen is able to meet up with him. And Wardeen also got some help from the backside that time from Taylor Tukolsky.
But again, going back to what works here is they came out in the opening drive and were able to pound the rock up the middle and bounce it outside now and then. So going back to that.
Penalty flags come out. Pass downfield. It goes complete. And the coverage that time for Richards on the intended target, Tyler McGee.
Give McGee credit there because you can't get a hold of it. Free play because Wesleyan was offsides, and McGee goes up. That concentration.
Offsides. Defense, number 91. Kelly's deep line. Result of the play, first down.
So the football will be at the 37-yard line of Briar Cliff. Chargers are still hanging around here. It's only 7-0. And this is a Charger ball club that has given up a lot of yardage and a lot of points against opponents. Here's a short little pickup. This time, reception made by Brady Van Duzen. Takes it to the 43-yard line, about a 6-yard gain on the play for Briar Cliff. But again, Briar Cliff, not exactly known to be such a juggernaut in the GPAC. They rank last in defense in the GPAC, both scoring defense and total defense.
And in the bottom 10 in the NAI. There's a hard count again, another free play.
And here's a toss downfield that's going to be incomplete. Intended receiver down the far side was Matt Harshman, but Taylor Gunther was right with him.
Again, though, had about 3 or 4 people fooled up front on the count.
Offside. Defense. Number 94. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that's Phil Latimer who jumped offside.
Well, and it wasn't just Phil. There was
a lot of others.
He was the one that got caught, but it wasn't like it was just Latimer up front. There's 3 of the 4 down linemen, one of those being Fecht, who's playing standing up at the line.
Play action from Ducko. Intercepted by Reeves. Reeves cuts down the far side, and he is bulldogged from behind. Britt Van Meiden came in to stop Brandon Reeves, and there's a pick.
Reeves had a chance earlier, let one go through his hand, this time right to him. Settled in that underneath zone, picked it off. It was set up perfectly, picked up a good block there, nice return down the sidelines, and the Prairie Wolves in business here inside Briar Cliff territory.
So
22-yard return.
So Reeves helps get redemption for Nebraska Wesleyan. The Wolves will have it at the 32 of Briar Cliff. Here is Francis, swings it over here near side Earhart. Earhart in the 30 inside there, and he is going to be wrapped up and tackled by Kenny Haynes. Short of the 25, they'll mark him at the 26.
Good concentration again by Earhart. Kind of bobbled it initially, able to stick around and drive inside the 30-second effort. All the way down near the 25. So Francis, it's been mostly his arm this afternoon.
Murr,
the Prairie Wolf offense.
Murr, the split on the left side. Near side, it's Davis. And it is a handoff. Given to the fullback that time, Nick Lovell.
Gets Prairie Wolves the 14th first down.
So Lovell
we've met the game's challenge. Take that orange
gives
coupon
the
to
Prairie
Raising
Wolves
Cane's
another
to get
first
your
down.
free
This will
meal
be
with
at the
first
21.
meal and drink by the end of business hours tomorrow.
Now this is where the Prairie Wolves have struggled all year. They've gotten into the red zone, down into opponent's territory, but they've been unable to punch it in.
So 1st and 10 from the Charger 21. It's a toss, and it's Jones who gets it. Bumps off one tackle, marches ahead, and takes it down to the 11 and gets a first down.
That's just good hard running, follows his backers.
Joey Jones
might have got away with a little bit of hold there.
That is good for another Nebraska Wesleyan.
Armstrong, but good job.
So Larson the split to the far side, Davis out to the right. 1st and 10 from the 11. Francis dropping back, toss is complete. It is caught by Jones, who stumbles ahead and slips up at about the 4-yard line.
That must be the new turf. It's a little
slicker.
Jones out there.
But how long can you use that as an excuse?
Just lost his footing. I think his eyeballs got pretty big. He saw the open green in front of him here. Just tripped up a little bit. Good job by the other receivers on the outside, blocking downfield to open up that room.
2nd and 3. It's at the 4 of Briar Cliff.
And the Prairie Wolves, like I say, can get a first down without getting into the end zone.
Play action. Francis dodges a tackle. He can throw it into the far corner of the end zone. Nobody around, incomplete.
Good play, though, by Francis. Knew he was going to take a sack if he didn't unload it. Just very aware of what's going on. Rather than eat 6 yards, just gets rid of it. Good pressure that time. Play action didn't fool anyone up front for Briar Cliff.
3rd and 3 at the 4. Francis over the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan, Brooks Earhart. And there is Tyler Francis' first touchdown of the season. His first touchdown pass. It goes to Brooks Earhart.
Earhart, popular target on that drive, just a little slant route right through the middle. Francis today just very accurate, delivering darts out there.
Come on, guys. Please reset the game clock
to
to 6:41. Thank you.
Clock just kept running there. They had reset that, make sure the time is accurate up top.
So with 6:41, Aaron Lorraine will attempt the extra point for the Prairie Wolves. The snap and the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. 6:41 to go in the third quarter. Wesleyan strikes first. Tyler Francis' first touchdown pass of the year. It's now 14-0 Wesleyan on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Thank you for supporting Lincoln Cares. By voluntarily adding $1 each month to your Lincoln Electric System bill, you've helped improve parks programs and facilities across the city. Now your dollar goes even further. Lincoln Cares has been expanded to support not just parks, but also libraries and programs for older adults. And your donations are matched by community partners. See how much more $1 can do. Visit LincolnCares.org.
Jeff Moats, Lucas Moorman, our entire Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network crew with you today. It is 14-0 Nebraska Wesleyan ahead of Briar Cliff. And Aaron Lorraine, we've only seen him a couple of times today, and that's for extra points. Coming into this, he was 4-4, 16 career field goals. He had 13 of the 19 points that Wesleyan accumulated coming into today, and ranks 4th all-time on the kicking charts.
Like I said, that's great, but what they want to do is score touchdowns. So we really want to see Lorraine on PATs is what Coach Keller wants to see.
Here on the return is Levon Wright, and Wright takes it to the 25-yard line.
Range kick is
Coverage
retrieved by
down the field
Levon
that time. See if that
Brought down by number
defense
6, Andy
taking
Fedorus.
advantage. You got the interception so far. They can turn Briar Cliff away again.
So Wesleyan will work on defense. Briar Cliff trying to play catch-up here. That pistol offense. And Ducko gives it to Hikas, and Hikas is taken down that time by Phil Latimer, and Latimer stops it short of the 25.
Latimer with a quick first step, got through the initial block, just hopped right on the back of Hikas.
So it'll be 2nd and 10.
You know, so far the experiment of having Spencer Fecht up on the lines worked pretty well.
Catch made at the 30-yard line by the receiver, Britt Van Muden.
His pass is complete to Britt Van Muden.
So it'll be 3rd down.
Number 9, John Rutherford.
Briar Cliff here a little bit slower in their attack, still no huddle. Now looks like some press coverage on the outside from Nebraska Wesleyan.
Here's a handoff. Kenny Thompson gets the carry, and it's Aaron Bainey who comes in to make the stop.
Well, we've seen that matchup a couple times. Bainey trying to bring down Thompson, shaking up Briar Cliff Charger down there. Thompson, he gets a head of steam going. He's a tough cookie to bring down. 5'11", 230. Their short yardage guy.
Let's go, Delindia!
Shaken up with the play that time. Josh Webb, a senior from Indianola, Iowa, for Briar Cliff, jogs off under his own power.
5:42 remaining here in this third quarter. And the Prairie Wolves working here on defense. Play action here for Briar Cliff. Over the middle, sharp pass, underthrown, incomplete. And Van Meiden was the intended target.
You know, Dutko hasn't looked terrible in the passing game. Just been a little off, a little short, a little long.
Also halftime.
He only attempted 9 passes in that first half, completed 3 of them, and that's probably by design. Coach Rethman starting the freshman. Looked like something odd
some
there.
motion as some penalty flags come up. Incomplete pass downfield intended for Tyler McGee.
Probably an illegal shift.
Coverage downfield from Wesleyan. Let's see what it is.
Intended for number 4, Tyler McGee.
Defense, number 94, 5-yard penalty.
Well, it's Latimer again, offsides, and once they saw him across the line, that's kind of why I think we saw the awkward movement, because they knew they had a free play, so they just took off and went.
But Latimer was pointing that he was saying it was them.
Yeah,
It was
he
the
thought
signal.
so
It was
too.
the signal count, and they were moving as well. 2nd and 5. Out of the gun. Dutko.
A little confusion now, I think, out there.
Play clock down to 2. Play clock down to 1. It's going to be a delay of game.
I think
Or
Coach,
they got the timeout just in time.
Coach Rethman caught it.
Timeout.
Briar Cliff. That's the first charge timeout of the second half.
So timeout on the field with 5:25 left. 3rd quarter, Nebraska Wesleyan 14. Briar Cliff nothing on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Growing up, I've always told people I want to get into the family business. I wanted to make sure that I really paid tribute to what my grandpa and my dad did. That's why I've chosen the name 3rd Generation Builder. The best part for me is when I get to hand the new homeowners their keys. It's just that satisfaction of knowing that this house is now their home. Union Bank is a great partner and they can help me expand my business. It's really exciting for me.
Back here at Able Stadium with Lucas Mormon, I'm Jeff Moats here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. It'll be 2nd down and 5 here for Briar Cliff at their own 43.
Well, they just had to burn a timeout, but with a freshman starter out there and a lot of no huddle, that's something maybe you expect.
Swing pass far side goes incomplete. Ben Leiden was the intended target. Brandon Reeves coming over there to make the coverage, but
Coverage on the play
3rd
by
down here
Brandon Reeves.
for Briar Cliff, and it just seems like when they pick up a big gain, they get momentum, and then something happens and it just stalls.
Well, a lot of credit some of that to the pressure up front on Dutko when they do try to get something going in the passing game.
Swing pass far side, reaching for it, short or close
It
to
all
a first
depends on the
down.
spot here, Jeff. And wow, that's
And that time it was Matt Harshman who made the catch. Take a look at this again. Awfully close.
officials right on top of it. Take a look, see how his spot is. I mean, right there he's down. And they gave him a pretty decent spot as they bring the chains out and get an official measurement. Yeah, I'd say he's about 1.5 inches shy.
Ooh, that 28. I swear to God.
Got it.
Nose of the football.
About 6 inches short.
Brings up 4th down and student for Briar Cliff.
And that'll bring up 4th down.
Right before halftime, Doane College is leading Hastings College
Briar
14
Cliff
to
is
nothing.
going to punt it away here. I thought maybe they'd bring it in there, get Dutko under center and sneak it forward. Less than a football needed. So as it stands, the Prairie Wolves have forced another punt. Again, 5:18. This game, both teams keeping it on the ground. Not a lot of incomplete passes when they have been thrown. It's just moving right along on both sides of the football.
Let's see with the punt. Another booming kick. Wardeen going to wave it off, and it goes in the end zone for a touchback. So 4:55, and Wesleyan will have it again at their own 20-yard line. So some firsts today for Tyler Francis. His first touchdown pass of the season, and perhaps the first time all season that Aaron Lorraine hasn't had to come in and help contribute very much. I mean, and that's not necessarily a good or bad thing. I mean, it's good to have a kicker like Aaron Lorraine who's been very efficient, but Wesleyan's offense has been better. That's
Yes,
the point I'm trying to make.
In the red zone, they've gotten touchdowns instead of field goals, and that's going to equate to more wins as the season rolls along. High
Nice
snap.
Dustin Bryant around left end, and he is taken down on the far side by Troy Hooks.
It's a great finish to the run for Bryant. The stiff arm out there along the edge, picks up a few extra yards. Francis starts it out by going and getting the high snap, and right there, look, driving through his defender, just following his blockers, and bang, finishing the run. Markham 2 yards shy of that first down, and Bryant in the first half at 35 yards rushing. Remember, he had a 100-yard rushing day in the season opener against Tabor.
Here's Bryant again on 2nd and 2. And Bryant gets the carry past the 30 to the 31 and gets the first down.
Well, and I think we're going to see maybe a little more steady diet of the running backs. Is up 2 scores here. Had some success in the ground game.
And the offense has flowed better.
Well, we talked about earlier in the game, that first contest against Tabor, there were a lot of drop passes for Nebraska Wesleyan.
And there were so many holes that from that standpoint, holes in terms of trying to make complete catches as Bryant takes it around right side, cuts out, he's to the 40, breaks free, and stumbles across the 50. Spot him at the 48-yard line of Briar Cliff, a first down. But as I was referring to, the holes, meaning that they're not completing the catches or not sustaining drives or getting inside that red zone instead of having to settle for field goals.
Bryant
again.
A patient runner. The toss play this time.
Kid that we have talked about quite a bit off and on through the course of his career. Bryant out of Cody Kilgore High School up in north central Nebraska. He has battled through some injuries in his time.
That's what I like about Bryant. Very resilient. Like I say, he's contributed in a number of ways. I mean, like I say, it was kind of running back by committee, and he was one of the committees there for committee members there for a while. And this year he's stayed injury-free through 3 games so far and is really carrying the load for the most part for the rushing attack.
Swing toss far side. It is complete. And a loose football. Fumble on the play, and Briar Cliff gets it back. I believe that was Tyler Gibson who made the catch, who lost the football, and Briar Cliff defensively gets a break.
Well, coming into the contest, take a look first here, catch, way to go, nice job, and then just didn't get that football. Just, good rip there that time by Trujillo.
He's the guy that ripped the ball out of the hands of Gibson. Here you see it.
Good job. His teammates got him wrapped up already. Come in, try and get it as Briar Cliff's on the attack.
Far side of the field, catch made. Van Meiden. Make that Harshman. Matt Harshman made the catch. He gets them a first down at the 30 at Wesleyan. And then we'll huddle offense. Will hurry up to the line.
I'm going to guess Harshman, probably a relation to the Bryce Harshman on the coaching staff that was a heck of a player here at Briar Cliff.
Screen toss is picked up and intercepted. And it's Taylor Tukolsky who comes up with it. And I believe that was Phil Latimer who got his hands up in the passing lanes and tipped the ball up.
I was just going to say, Jeff, Phil Latimer got his big mitts up.
It was Latimer. And there's Tukolsky, the former Norris Titan, coming up with the interception. Good play by Latimer. And again, Tukolsky with the save.
Something defensive lineman, if you're not going to get to the quarterback, at least get your arms up. Make it tougher for the passing lanes. He did exactly that. And a nice diving catch by Tukolsky. I was going to talk about the turnover margin. Nebraska Wesleyan came in +2. They even it back up here.
Francis downfield. Zump catches it. Did he get it? Yes.
That was a double route by Connor Zumpf, and he's becoming a big play receiver in just his second game as a Prairie Wolf.
42-yard line is where they'll mark the ball down in Briar Cliff territory. Zumpf with a big catch, and
right
he had
in between the double coverage.
Eddie Ficklin right on him too.
Francis tried to sell it. It was kind of an double move by Zumpf, and he really threaded at the needle there. Zumpf doing a good job going up, fighting for the ball.
And a handoff. Joey Jones getting the carry, I believe. Yes, it is. We've seen him run. We've seen Dustin Bryant run the ball. Dick Lovell, the fullback, he's gotten a couple of carries today.
Yeah, they like to sprinkle Lovell in there, that fullback, some quick hitters here and there, leak him out of the backfield. And
Zumpf and Larson are out to the left.
Zumpf on the season, 3 catches for over 25 yards each catch.
It's another one as he's knocked out of bounds inside the 40. Mark him at about the 38. There you see that play again. Swing toss out toward the left side flat.
Did a nice job just going to get it, knocked off his feet there. Just essentially a long handoff on that play. Just give Zumpf a little room to work. The former York Duke. Breville's just coming over this one and getting set. 8 to snap it here.
3rd down, and we'll call it 6. Jones in motion. Francis over the middle. Caught. Earhart inside the 30. 1st down. Tackled up on the play by Troy Hooks. Marked him at the 28.
Francis just got the snap in time on that one. 1 second left on the play clock before he hooked up with Earhart. Earhart just over the middle in the soft part of that zone.
You have a winner for today's Split the Pot. Pull out those tickets and check your numbers.
Earhart.
We'll be calling out the winning number shortly.
Adding to his catch total on the day. Great possession type receiver. Really has the ability to do a lot with it after the catch.
Here is Francis looking upfield. Pass goes incomplete. Looking out for his intended receiver, Derek Horde, the tight end.
And on that time for Francis, good thing Horde got a little bit of a finger on it, because if not, the coverage was there. It was layered too deep, and I think it would have been a pretty good chance for an INT for Briar Cliff if Horde doesn't change the trajectory of that ball just a little bit. We've seen him roll Francis out now and then, get him on the move, but honestly today, Jeff, I think he's been as accurate in the pocket as anywhere.
He's comfortable in that
and
situation.
He moves within the pocket very well.
And it's Jones who gets the handoff, spins off a tackle, and he scrambles for that extra yard to the 27. So 3rd and 9 coming up. And Tyler Francis, if you give him enough time in that pocket, he's able to set up and look for his target, and more times than none is pretty accurate with his throwing. And I guess you could say that about any quarterback, but with Tyler Francis, in a situation like that, he's in a comfort zone, and that's where he's able to work.
Well, and it almost sounds counterproductive, but as time's going to run out in the first quarter here, but he's more elusive in the pocket than he is maybe out of the pocket.
Right.
He's not exactly the fleetest of foot, but he gets the job done very well under pressure in the pocket.
We're through 3 here at Able Stadium. It's homecoming. Nebraska Wesleyan 14, Briar Cliff nothing. 4th quarter coming up after this.
Hi, this is Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy. Did you know that proper insulation levels can help reduce your heating and cooling costs? You can check your attic insulation level with this very advanced high-tech tool called a ruler. Make sure you have 14 to 16 inches of insulation for maximum energy efficiency. It'll help reduce drafts and allow your heating and cooling systems to not have to work so hard. Think of it as saving money by the inches, $1, $2, $3, you get the idea. For more ways to save, visit les.com today. See you next time.
Gorgeous afternoon for football in Lincoln. And Nebraska Wesleyan on their homecoming and Hall of Fame weekend leads at 14-0 over Briar Cliff. Prairie Wolves seeking their first victory of the 2013 season. There you see head coach Brian Keller, 94-79 record through his first 17 seasons, and is the all-time winningest coach in Nebraska Wesleyan history as we get ready for 3rd down and 9. Here is Francis Flags come out. He's going to keep it, and he's hit hard and taken down. Floyd Thompson come in and just hit Francis hard.
And bring up 4th down. Be interesting to see again biding time, but then Thompson, wow, just unleashes on Francis.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. Penalties decline. 4th down.
So the decline, it puts the ball at the 29-yard line. That'll bring Lorraine out.
So Jack Barteldis is called for the holding penalty, and Aaron Lorraine will attempt the field goal. They'll spot it at the 36. It's a 46-yard attempt from the near side hash mark. Snap the hold. The kick is up. It's got some distance, and it is good. And so Aaron Lorraine goes 5 for 5, and it is good. So the Prairie Wolves extend their lead to 17-0 with 14:41 to go in this game on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
My mother had antiques and my cousins raced stock cars, and I kind of merged the two together to antique cars. Giving old stuff new life. I mean, that's the cool part.
I don't know what it is, digging in an old barn. I really like that. And then the finished product.
We just had accumulated enough projects that we really needed to expand. Union Bank helped us achieve the goal of having our own shop.
They made it easy.
$17-0, Nebraska Wesleyan ahead of Briar Cliff.
Lorraine really makes Briar Cliff pay for declining that penalty. There was a holding penalty there. Would have given another shot on 3rd down, but it also would have backed him up out of field goal range. So apparently the Chargers thought 46 was maybe a little bit more than Lorraine's leg could handle. And you saw after the play, he was pretty fired up about it. Make the field goal, made him pay, and tacked on another field goal in his record-setting season so far, his pace anyway. 17 field goals in his career through 13 games. And here we go, high and over end kick from Lorraine. That goes into the end zone, and they'll return it. Here's McGee on the return. Works outside, and he is knocked out of bounds around the 20-yard line. So you go 5 for 5 this season, 17 made in his career, 13 starts. Still 4th, I believe, on the all-time chart. We've seen some good kickers here. Well, and what a great tool to have in your pocket. I mean, again, it comes back to some of those areas that maybe you just overlook. The punting of Vandenberg, the place kicking of Lorraine. Those are small things that are going to account for some big details down the road.
Hitchikis with the carry. Vandenberg over there, and Kundal over there too for Wesleyan to make the stop.
Carried by Hitchikis, by Phil Latimer.
It's been interesting to watch Spencer Feck today almost act as that 4th down lineman rushing off the edge.
Dutko to McGee over the middle, and Reeves and a few others over there to make the play, and now late penalty flags coming out.
I think they might get him for a face mask here, Jeff. Reeves patting on his number, as that's the initial signal, says, yeah, I got him. That was my bad.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 54. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
So it was Brandon Reeves that was called for the face mask. And that puts Briar Cliff at their own 36. Watch this again on the replay.
Right at the end of the run there.
Right there.
And Brandon knew it. Another flag comes in.
More penalty flags come out. As Delenzia Turner Green got the carry that time. It's a holding penalty against Briar Cliff.
talk it over and say, yep, back him up. So 15 forward, 10 back for Briar Cliff here as the teams trade penalties. Haven't had a whole lot of long range.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. Remains first down.
I say we haven't had a ton of flags in the first half, just 3 penalty flags thrown, or it's actually through 3 quarters. Just 3 penalty flags, and 2 of those were encroachment on Nebraska Wesleyan.
Ducko out of the shotgun, first and long, downfield, looking to go to McGee, goes incomplete. McGee was looking for the pass interference, but good coverage from the former Waverly Viking, Taylor Gunther.
And they were jostling the whole way along here. There was some contact, but they're just going back and forth. Both made a play on the ball. Take one more look at it. Gunther, right there, they maybe could have got him for a little hook of his arm. Might have snuck one in there. If you're crafty about it, you can get away with a few of those now and then, and Gunther was crafty that time.
So out of the pistol, second and long. Ducko's in trouble. Throws the football, gives it up, throws it away, incomplete.
Good pressure by that defensive front again.
Didn't take long, and a score that involved the other university in town. Minute and a half into the game, Nebraska's leading South Dakota State 7-0.
Goes up third and long. Not a lot of plays in your playbook here for third and almost 20.
Ducko again, over the middle. Nowhere even close to his intended target. Looked like the closest one was McGee, but he overthrew that by about 10 or 15 yards.
Yeah, just none of the same page there. And McGee open where he was on the field, but overshot him by 10 yards. Coach Reffman, a few words coming off to his freshman signal caller. Betcher back there again for the punt this time.
Here's the punt. That's a height to it, but not a lot of distance. Ticket bounce at the 50. Cross there all the way into Prairie Wolf territory. Around the 46.
So it's been a back and forth battle for the punter. Rusty Muncie boomed a 72-yarder, and then he's had a 22-yarder, and this time about a 32-yarder. Nebraska Wesleyan looking to add to their lead here. Going to next week on a good note. 13 minutes left in this one. Take care of the football.
Here's a handoff, and it's Bryant through the middle, open lot, right down the middle of the lane, and right down to about the first down marker around the 39. Again, Bryant, a good carry that time right through the middle part of the line. 13 minutes left.
A couple different styles of running by Bryant. In the big run earlier, you saw a patient Bryant as he felt through his runners or his blockers in front of him and then able to explode for about 15 yards. That time just a quick hitter up the middle, able to explode right from the get-go and move the chains on first down.
Jones in motion, counter plays to go to the right. And he's hit hard. It's about 2 yards in the play before he's tackled around the 42-yard line.
Corey Jones in the end around, tackled by King Haynes.
Try a little misdirection that time with the end around. Good open field tackle by Haynes. Next week, Nebraska Wesleyan will have Northwestern, the Red Raiders, in Orange City, Iowa.
Here's the handoff. It's Bryant, 25, inside the 10 to the 5, and he's finally taken down by the collar at the 2. And that might be a horse collar tackle.
No doubt, Jeff, is Brian a little shaken up, but again, great patient running and then exploding. You take a look here, gets through that first layer, no one home, and then trying to get into the end zone,
there.
hanging on for dear life was
right there.
Haynes.
Personal foul.
Horse collar. Defense, number 21. We will place the ball half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
And that's going to be inside the 1. It's going to be just outside the goal line.
Great run by Bryant. Good blocking on the outside edge by the tight end wide receiver as well. Up front, all around, well executed play. See if they let Bryant punch it in here.
Bryant takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska Wesleyan. And they do give it to him.
Second touchdown of the day for Bryant. First one was a 7-yard run. This one from 1 yard out, but caps the big run that he had in the previous play. And now the Prairie Wolves rolling here in the third quarter. Or fourth quarter, excuse me.
Now the point after coming up from Aaron Lorraine. Here's the kick. It is up, and it is good. So the Prairie Wolves extend their lead now, 24-0 over Briar Cliff. Back with the remaining portion of this quarter in just a moment on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Oh, Kevin! Kevin got out, Henry. We gotta find him.
Kevin, where are you? Kevin!
Kevin, where are you?
Animal control called. They found Kevin. It's a good thing we had him licensed, or we might not have gotten him home.
Thank goodness they found him. Kevin!
Nebraska Wesleyan ahead 24-0 over Briar Cliff. And it was Dustin Bryant who took it into the end zone. And Aaron Lorraine out to kick away here with 11:23 to go in this ball game. If you figure in the current total, Lucas, the 24 points with the 19 coming into the game that Nebraska Wesleyan accumulated through the first 2 games of the season. First 3 games, rather, of the season. Coming into this one, they're still being outscored by their opponents. End over end kick into the end zone, and McGee will take a knee, and it will be a touchback. But think about this. First 2 games of the year, you give up 58 points. So far, you're shutting out.
Pitching a shutout.
Yeah, you're up 24-0. You're still being outscored combined against your 3 opponents so far this season.
Well, in the Morningside game, I mean, that whether that's an anomaly or not, you know, Morningside, talking with Alex Linden over here at the game, he said Morningside looks as good as ever, and even as good as some of those powerful Sioux Falls teams. They were winning the league every year.
And a stop in the backfield as Taylor Colsty had his hands on Hikas, but Hikas spun out of it, but a couple other Prairie Wolves come in to make the stop, Vandenberg one of them. But you know what's funny is that with Sioux Falls moving up to Division II, and when Sioux Falls was in the GPAC, it was either going to be them or Morningside or Northwestern, and here's a pass downfield, underthrown, incomplete. Intended target was Brett Van Meiden, and Taylor Gunther with the coverage for Nebraska Wesleyan. But it was always Sioux Falls. Morningside was toward the top.
Yep.
Hastings was always in the hunt. Northwestern has always been there too. I mean, it was really all those teams, and then everybody else in the GPAC. Wesleyan wasn't too far behind in many cases. Third down pass goes incomplete to the far side. But my point is, again, you know, with Sioux Falls leaving, Morningside has taken over that role as being the power in the GPAC conference.
Yep, in the first NAI poll, second poll, they were number 1 again. And then you look at other GPAC teams that are rated this year. Coming up, Doane, just down the road, number 18 on the season, Northwestern 21 this week, and Concordia receive votes this week. Nebraska Wesleyan was receiving votes in the previous week's poll, but Concordia looking to start 3-0. They take on Midland today, and Northwestern had Dakota Wesleyan, had a score earlier from that. They were winning that one, so it'll bring a good matchup again next week at Orange Stadium as there's
loose football on the far side. Did Wesleyan get it? It looks like they might have knocked it out of bounds just to protect it. And they will have it at their own 47-yard line.
So Betcher's had a few issues back there this afternoon. He had the one over-the-shoulder catch he tried to make, and then he tracked it down. I don't think he actually touched that one as we looked at it later. I think he could have let it roll and been okay, but better safe than sorry as he gets some words there. As this time he was going to let it go, then maybe catch it, caught a hand, and rolls out of bounds.
If you see a weakness with the special teams, is that one area in particular? Because last couple of years, Cody
Eiler's been phenomenal
the
back
guy
there.
that was really just an outstanding kick returner.
Well, and then that's part of it. Someone new back there, and not sure how much Betcher had done it in the past. There's a handoff to Jones, and you saw Wardeen back on one, and him and he had shared some time with Eiler back there, but that's somewhere you don't really worry about because you used to have Cody Eiler back there, and this year maybe a little bit of an issue and something they'll work on.
Grant Allen, the new quarterback, the junior out of Cross County High School, originally from Clarks, Nebraska. Getting some reps here. Second down here as Allen hands it off. And looks like it's Jones who takes the handoff, gets it across the 50 to the 49 of Briar Cliff. 10 minutes to go in this one, and Brian Keller has to be very pleased with his offense's performance today.
Well, and this game came at a good time on the schedule.
It's a perfect time to have something like this before you go to Northwestern, and then you got the rivalry game with Doane in 2 weeks.
And Concordia the week after that. That's on their homecoming out there, and I know that's always one that these guys kind of circle when they go out to Seward. That's where Coach Keller's from, always a little bit more exciting out there, and especially if you look at as another handoff up the middle is trying to run some clock here, able to get to the outside.
There's Jones on the carry, ran out of bounds around the 35. They'll mark him at the 36.
And right at the end of that run, you look at Jones. He gets to the outside, but the small things that they're doing right. You want to take care of the football, and you look, he gets to the outside, and about right here, switches it to that outside arm. Make sure that he's got that football protected. When you're in a game where it's 24-0 and you have a lead, it's the small things like protecting the football that you got to work on, and you have to make sure you're doing that the correct way. Jones, great example of it right there.
Allen, a handoff to Jones, cuts out to the right, back in. Jones today has carried the ball well. He gives Nebraska Wesleyan a first down as a late flag comes in.
I'll tell you what, I think this is going to be some helmet-to-helmet contact as it was Eric Jones, the defensive lineman, that came in to finish things up, and he cracked Corey Jones right smack in the helmet. I think that's what this is going to be if they talk it over here. But you look at the GPAC as we talk, we'll listen in and see what the call is here first. But the GPAC maybe a little bit stronger or more even in the middle.
Personal foul. Illegal helmet contact. Defense. Number 91, half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Take a look at it here. Cuts it back up, kind of being held up right here at 91. Head hunts. Can't lead with the head. Can't make helmet-to-helmet contact, and you sure as that can't leave your feet. He was 3 for 3 on that one, so benefiting from the penalty inside the red zone now.
Allen will send Murr in motion. And gives it up to Jones, cuts out to his left, but not for long. Briar Cliff able to break through there and make the stop. You had Rasheed Tynes over there and Eric Nicholson.
Tynes has made some big hits today. Good job from his spot, flowing over to the football. But look at those GPAC standings, and depending how things shake out today, Doane a ranked team. They're 1-0 in the conference, 1-1 overall. Northwestern next week, a ranked team. You'll have Nebraska Wesleyan will have them on the road.
Not an easy place to play either.
No, and then.
But think about this, the series with Northwestern, especially here in Lincoln,
is gone.
Close.
Yes, very close.
Very close.
Prairie Wolves have seemed to have their number.
But they haven't been able to overcome it. Jones again gets out of a tackle. 10-5, touchdown. How about that?
That's just some tough running and not giving up on the play.
Look at this. That's just determination.
Right there. Should be down. Keeps those feet churning, avoids the other one, and then just a foot race. And give some credit. Ryan Larson in the back of the end zone here, blocking away from the football. You see it right in the corner of your screen. Takes his defender to the ground. Able to let Jones waltz in there for 7.
Here's Lorraine's kick. It is up, and it is good. 7:52 in this game. And on homecoming, the Prairie Wolves have unleashed their attack. 31-0 on 21 Sports and the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Growing up, I've always told people I want to get into the family business. I wanted to make sure that I really paid tribute to what my grandpa and my dad did. That's why I've chosen the name Third Generation Builder. The best part for me is when I get to hand the new homeowners their keys. It's just that satisfaction of knowing that this house is now their home. Union Bank is a great partner and they can help me expand my business. It's really exciting for me.
Welcome back here to Able Stadium here on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. One of the younger kids that are here today, enjoying some football here at Able Stadium, and Nebraska Wesleyan, obviously with stuff to celebrate about a little bit early, even though we got about 7:52 to play. It's 31-0 Prairie Wolves over the Chargers of Briar Cliff, and this was a game that Wesleyan needed to win coming in. Now the series history 9-1. Last time Briar Cliff beat Nebraska Wesleyan 8-7. That was in 2009.
I think they ran a squeeze play to get that 8th run in. But, yeah, I mean, a much-needed confidence booster as well. Just get things back on track.
Kick return that time by Levon Wright.
Briar Cliff, obviously not a power in the GPAC coming in. They've had wins in the GPAC over Dordt and that 8-7 win against Nebraska Wesleyan. That's all they've had in quite some time in the GPAC. So they've been struggling. They've been close, but it's been tough to turn around up there this year. Something new up in Briar Cliff. They're actually playing their games over in the Dome at USD for a handful of their games, as they used to share a field with Sioux City Heelan, a natural turf field that was always seemed to be in just terrible shape with the amount of teams playing on it. So
Ducko will just take it and slide as he heads up toward the 22-yard line. But Briar Cliff athletically, they've had great men's and women's basketball teams.
Solid.
Baseball has been very good. It's just football has not been able to get over that hump.
Well, again, they're right in town as drop back to pass a deep ball here.
And knocked away by Taylor Gunther. Good coverage from him. Seth Wardeen was helping out, covering the intended target, Brady Van Dusen. But, you know, you're in town competing against another
Morningside.
GPAC school in Morningside. And that is where the difficulty lies in trying to get some good players into your program.
Well, that South Dakota, Iowa area up there, a lot of schools to contend with. Not that it's any different here in Nebraska, but yeah, they just haven't been able to get over that hump.
Far side, incomplete. And that thing was on target with Levon Wright.
And I think it was almost just one of those it's too easy things for Wright. Wasn't expecting it. It was right there in the numbers.
Bainey with good coverage for Nebraska Wesleyan.
26 first downs today for the Nebraska Wesleyan offense as they get set to take over again here with 7:07 left. 400 yards of offense. So we knew it was a good chance for them to get the offense on track, build some confidence. They've done that. 400 yards, 182 on the ground, 218 through the air.
Muncie's punt.
He's going to hang
high
up.
Kick. Bounces around the 45, and they're going to mark it at the 42-yard line. Wesleyan will have it at the Briar Cliff 42 on their next possession. But it's just the competition that they have to deal with. Wesleyan, of course, they have to battle with Midland, Concordia, Doane,
Hastings.
I mean, you're talking that nucleus of schools in Nebraska. And I would imagine, too, that everybody else in the GPAC you got to contend with, too, because you got kids from Nebraska that go to Morningside. Some may go to Northwestern, and some may sneak up north into South Dakota at any one of those schools. And on 1st and 10, taken down for a loss is Jones.
Jones having a pretty solid day before that carry. He had 13 carries for 69 yards and the touchdown.
Hoyt Thompson there, you see on your screen, he made the stop.
Dustin Bryant, second 100-yard rushing game of the season for him. 18 carries, 115 yards, a couple TDs. Nice way to come out on your homecoming here.
Allen again here out of the gun. This will be 2nd and long. Swings it far side. It is complete to Jones. He's inside the 35, inside the 30, and finally tackled from behind. Thrown out of bounds. They'll spot him at the 20.
5th catch of the afternoon. This time does a lot of it himself after the catch. Again, essentially a long handoff. Zips it out there. Good block right at the point of the catch to allow to spring Jones down the sideline. He had 4 catches for 44 yards before that one. First pass of the day for Allen.
And it's Jones again with the carry. Picks up about a yard inside the 19.
Allen in here, and Francis's day obviously done. A nice afternoon for him. 23 of 32. Did have the 1 pick, but he also had the TD. 218 yards. Solid afternoon for the senior. Nice balanced attack for Coach Keller's squad this afternoon.
I know a couple of weeks ago, Coach Keller was working up in the booth next door to us, and now today he's on the sideline.
Talk about some of those catches. Nice surprise this season is Zumpf.
Yeah, he really has established himself now. And it's a counter play.
A little end around there for Crew Keller.
Yep, Crew Keller, the son of head coach Brian Keller. Crew Keller, another former Northeast Rocket. Just up the street here if you go up Baldwin Avenue. Go up about 4 to 6 blocks to the east, and that for a long time was a pipeline for this Wesleyan football program. You had a lot of Northeast kids, then eventually East kids were coming over here. Pius, they've sent some quality players. Corey Kalin comes to mind. Southeast had Zach Raby, who was the starting quarterback for a while here at Wesleyan. Short toss, complete from Allen, and catch made. Tackle at about the 10-yard line. Uncover the pile.
That was Horde, Derek Horde, in the tight end spot. Nice job by Allen to stand in there amongst some pressure, deliver it to his tight end, and a little drag right across the middle. I'm going to say he's just about a half a yard shy of that first down, though.
Back in the 4th quarter, Concordia is leading Midland 28-14.
But the pipeline of kids in Lincoln has been kind of a staple that Wesleyan in all sports has tried to keep. And timeout called.
Timeout, Nebraska Wesleyan.
That's the first charge timeout of the second half.
So with 3:51 to go in this ball game, Nebraska Wesleyan 31-0 over Briar Cliff on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan with LES's Save Money, Saving Energy. Did you know that for every degree you set your thermostat below 68 in the wintertime, you can save 3 to 5% on your heating costs? 3 to 5%. As some people might say, that's hot. Check us out at les.com or do a search for LES Video Vault on YouTube for even more energy-saving tips like this one. See you next time.
Jeff Moats and Lucas Mormon back with you here at Able Stadium. Some of the folks still hanging around here for this game. And a lot of the homecoming festivities taking place earlier today here on campus. And plenty more here to go today and even tomorrow.
Short yardage, and they're going to come out in the shotgun here.
As Grant Allen works out of the shotgun, swings it near side. Jones gets it inside the 10, and he is tripped up on the play. Tackled by Eric Jones, and it's a first down for the Prairie Wolves.
Got a lot going on in that play. Nice call on fourth down. A little misdirection, bring some motion in. Looked like maybe you're going to run a little jet sweep and then throw it out to Jones. Grant Allen with another completion. First down yardage.
If they pick up another score here, overall in the season, the opponents will still outscore Wesleyan by at least 1 point. So things have turned around slightly. Swing pass, actually a pass on the near side. It's intercepted, and it's taken by Troy Hooks. Hooks is going to run it back to the far side, still on his feet, and they finally try to wrap him up and take him down, and finally took Krug Keller and the quarterback Grant Allen to make the stop.
Nice job, good hands here, thrown really low. Kind of got tangled up in the legs of the two players, and Hooks able to come out of there with it, but try to just run a little slant route. Take a look here. Allen fires it in. And just right off the thigh. And Hooks able to come out of there with it. About 7 yards on the return. Dutko stays in there.
Still working out of that pistol formation. Kenny Thompson takes the handoff. And coming through to make the tackle for Nebraska Wesleyan was Seth Hoffman, freshman out of David City Aquinas. 2:45 to go in this one. Thompson again tries to work out a one tackle.
He is just a load to bring down.
He is. It's like a small Mack truck.
He got outside nicely, good footwork, kept him driving. Took 3 Prairie Wolves to finally corral him. As Briar Cliff just looks kind of like they're content to here just run the football, get the clock rolling, get on the bus, and get out of here.
3rd and 4. Dutko over the middle. Pass complete. Nice toss to Brady Van Dusen.
Fedoris with the coverage wraps him up immediately but moves the sticks. So Briar Cliff on the move here. Dutko stood in there nicely this time. A lot of time.
Andy Fedoris, you mentioned. Twin brother Ben on the team as well. McGee gets the pass from Dutko. And a quick stop that time. Vandenberg there, short of the first down.
Now
it's at the 41.
Briar Cliff moving the ball a little bit here. Have some time and some timeouts, but I know the defensive coaches and probably some of those first-line guys are wanting to keep that goose egg up on the board.
Over the middle, pass is incomplete. And good coverage there. Prairie Wolves had the tackle, or at least the coverage from Riley Shoemaker. The intended target, though, for Briar Cliff happened to be Brent Van Meiden.
Another freshman out there, Shoemaker from GICC.
Third down pass is complete. Across the 50 at the Wesleyan 48. And it's the receiver, Matt Harshman. Minute 25 on the clock. They stop the clock to get the chain set. And they'll roll. Out of the pistol. Dutko over the middle. It is complete. And it's Van Meiden again. And it's Andy Fedoris who makes the stop.
Very similar routes. Looks like maybe a little stinger there for Meiden. Comes off the field. Over the middle, they've found a soft spot in that coverage here.
Dutko. Pass near side to McGee. Goes right through his hands. Incomplete. We are down to 1:06 left in this game. Well, we got Northwestern next week. Actually, that'll be on the road at Northwestern. In 2 weeks, we'll be back here at Able Stadium where we'll bring you the bedlam matchup, if you will, between Nebraska Wesleyan and Doane. That'll be a night game, too. Far side pass to Levon Wright is complete. Tackle out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that should be a fun one back here on October 5th. Always fun under the lights here, especially when you get those two teams going at it. Should be a great atmosphere.
So we're under a minute to go. 3rd and 5 at the Wesleyan 30. So far, a solid drive for Briar Cliff as Ducko airs out downfield to McGee into the end zone for the touchdown. They avoid the shutout. A 30-yard toss from Ducko to McGee, and the Chargers get on the scoreboard.
Nice toss that time. Just got behind.
To 53 seconds. Thank you.
Just got behind the coverage. Up over the top that time, and Ducko gets on the board. First passing TD of his career.
That's a good catch. And the point after coming up here from Alex Bojado. Here's the kick. And it is good. 56 seconds to go. And Briar Cliff gets on the scoreboard. They trail 31-7 on the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network.
Man, Joey. 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 Thank goodness you had a license on him, because I was able to find out where he lived and bring him home to you safely. Oh, Joey.
There's a member of our camera crew up there. Actually, a couple members of them on top of the camera deck right above us here at Able Stadium. Beautiful press box. It was completed just a couple of years ago, and great to see a lot of upgrades and improvements here at Nebraska Wesleyan. We've talked about it off and on with Nebraska Wesleyan president Dr. Fred Oles, and the new Greeno track around here, the new field turf. We talked about the scoreboard, the video board, all that.
Video board, great, and that's part of the ideas of our colleague. And he was honored today for Spirit of the Plainsman, and great to see him recognized for all he did here at Nebraska Wesleyan, getting what was the 21 Sports, now the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network rolling.
And it was innovative. He saw something. He saw something to promote or market and give this school exposure athletically. And now what do we got here as penalty flags come out?
Kicking team, number 32. 5-yard penalty.
Couldn't let the ball sit like you wanted on the tee. But yeah, at the time, no other college of this size had a replay board or still has live replays in game just like this. And it really adds to the atmosphere out here. And
and a lot of the other schools in the GPAC, and we've covered games at Dome before. We've covered games at Concordia. Concordia's got a very nice facility too. But it just seems like here, with the technology that's made available in a market size of Lincoln and the capability that we have with what we're producing here today, it just seemed like a give-me. And now the onside kick is going to be picked up by Wesleyan at the Briar Cliff 39. But it just seemed like there was a piece of the puzzle missing.
Yep.
And Bill Luxford and his crew saw something, and they took it to the folks here at Wesleyan, and then the ball got rolling, and here we go.
If no one's familiar with it, it all got started with Bill thought he could get a video board rented out here for homecoming one year, and you know what? Everyone saw that, and they went, yeah, that was pretty nice. Let's see if we can keep that going.
There you see Bill on our screen right now. There's Bill Luxford. Been the executive producer and director for what was then known as 21 Sports, now the Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network. He's been heading up 5 City TV in Lincoln for a long time, too. So on first down, short gain of about 2 yards to the Briar Cliff 37 with 43 seconds of counting. But that homecoming game you're talking about, where they brought in the video board and put it in the southeast corner of the track, that was against Sioux Falls. And I just remember Sioux Falls got up right away 14-0. It was homecoming, but it was a big game because you have the top team in all of NAIA in town. You want to showcase this thing.
And
It was a great idea, and it's still a good idea.
It is, and it looks great out there. And hey, hats off to him. Awesome being recognized today by Nebraska Wesleyan Spirit of the Plainsmen. The win on homecoming. Happy faces all around here.
Congrats to all of the Hall of Fame inductees. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to the homecoming court. And that's a Nebraska Wesleyan winner. Your final score, Nebraska Wesleyan 31, Briar Cliff 7. A huge offensive day for the Prairie Wolves as we take a look at some of the clips from earlier today in this contest as we close out our coverage here for at least 2 more weeks. And some big plays today. Tyler Francis got his first touchdown pass of the season. There you see Dustin Bryant with a touchdown. That was the first one of the day. And some big plays on defense, too. Corey Kundal there that time. Here's Dustin Bryant with a good pickup. Trying to get out of trouble there, but Briar Cliff defensively a little bit stingy at times. But a great catch there. Connor Zumpf. That's a guy that's come on the scene here
what
for
a bright spot for the Prairie Wolves.
And there's a big pick there for Brandon Reeves.
22 yards on the return for Reeves. Set him up in business.
And Nebraska Wesleyan picking up their first win of the 2013 season, and there you have it. The final, Nebraska Wesleyan 31, Briar Cliff 7. For Bill Luxford, Bullwolf, and our entire Nebraska Wesleyan Sports Network crew, I'm Jeff Moats with Lucas Mormon saying so long. Thanks for listening, and good afternoon from Able Stadium in Lincoln.
Today's Nebraska Wesleyan University Sports Network telecast was made possible by Lincoln Electric System. Use LES to save more. Union Bank, you belong here. And Nebraska Wesleyan University.